Hey, how's it going out there? It's AG Surfer. It's definitely been a while. Uh, yeah, I just I felt I knew I've got a couple of vids I'd like to do, um, and a lot of it goes out. A big thanks goes out to my brother, one of my brothers, Cholula's Comics, because he took care of me on this, on a lot of books actually, especially this last haul. I sent out 62 books to CGC recently, and that was a few months back. It was due to that recent price hike to try to squeeze it, get it in there before the deadline to to they honor the old prices. And fortunately for me, they did honor the old prices. So more than likely, it's going to be a three-part video, 3 to 4 parts possibly. I'll try to get it to three as long as I stop talking. Yeah. So this is part three. Basically, did a bunch of. I had moderns and vintage. I believe vintage is their new silver. So let me show off these silver books. And the first one's going to be out of the 62 books. One of the books belongs to a buddy of mine. This is his book here. It's Captain Marvel number 26. This thing was really beat up. And as before, Cholula worked some serious magic on this. The 3.0 is phenomenal. When he first showed me the book and he was asking me about it, if it was worth getting pressed or worth sending off to get graded, and based on the money he had into it, he only had less than $1 into it. It was an estate sale, and he picked up like 15 comic books for like $10, and that was one of the 15 books that were in there. The rest of the books really aren't worth as much, I guess. Value wise, wasn't really there, I guess, for the rest of the books. But this one, he had an idea that it had something. I told him, yeah, I said it's up to you. He doesn't grade much. He doesn't grade actually doesn't grade really at all. But with this book, I said, okay, if you want to put a little bit of money into it because you don't have that much into it already, it'd probably be worth it. And I think he did all right, especially with the 3.0. Before it got pressed and clean, I said, oh, this thing's probably like a 0.5. I don't even think it's going to be a 1.0, something like that. After press and clean, my guess was a 2.5 would be the highest grade. But Cholula did some serious magic, so hats off to Cholula. I know my buddy. I'm gonna give it to him tomorrow. He's gonna be happy, and I think he'll be happy with that. I know I was pretty stoked. It definitely looks way better. I have some photos. I think I had some photos from it before. Anyhow, I submitted an X-Men issue 66. Came back a 7.0. Yeah, a lot of these, older books, it's tough. They're like off-white to white pages, and that's fine. You're lucky if you get white pages. I think I might have one book in here that has white pages, and then I have some that are just off-white pages. The turnaround times on these books as well. The moderns, I think I got my moderns back in like 2 weeks. This stuff took about 3 weeks. So altogether, all the books coming back within like a month from the moment they received them and put in their system. It's very quick. So CGC's turnaround times are currently, they're pretty fast, and put no rush on it. This issue here, Fantastic Four 67. This one I believe I thought this would be a 6.0, so for it to be a 5.5, that's fine. Obviously, I don't, most of the books overall, all the grades, were actually pretty good. They were pretty much where I expected them to be. Some were definitely higher. I think the X-Men here, I was thinking about a 6.0, 6.5, comes back a 7. So not too much difference. The same with this one, obviously being, I think it was a 6. I was thinking it was a 6, so 5.5 is not bad. This one, again, the same thing. I may have had this at about 6, 6.5. Not really sure. Again, I have to go back and look at my notes. But FF 97. So again, overall, off-white pages. Overall, really good. Good submission for these books and good turnaround. And let's go with some Avengers. So Avengers issue 23. A very nice 6.0. Oh, that's my only white pager. Put the sunlight here. That's the only white pages I got, which is very impressive. A few years back, I actually sent that out. It would have been my third attempt at a John Romita Sr. autograph. I sent that out, and sent it out to a company that was going to handle it. They've handled some of my books in the past before. But as they notified me and said, they were having a real hard time getting a lot of autographs with Ramita Sr. at the time. His health wasn't so great. And then, so the books were sent back. I was a little bummed, but overall, no complaints, because it's always a challenge. We knew it was going to be a risk and a challenge if it was going to happen anyways. With Ramita the third time, we were lucky to get him 2 times or whatever. So, and then I believe shortly after we got the books back, I think it was like 6 to 8 months later, Ramita Sr. passes away. So we were pretty bummed. The autographs could care less. It was just, bummed that he passed. And so rest in peace, John Ramita Sr. Unfortunately, never got a chance to meet him. He wasn't doing conventions by the time I was doing conventions. I got back into this. But yeah, he will be missed, and love his books. But that'd have been one book I'd have gotten his autograph on. But I'm still cool. So that, really happy with that one. Nice grade. Avengers issue number 24, an 8.5. So pretty high grade on that one. I think I was anticipating about a 7. So, but Cholula did a hell of a job with press and clean, and took care of all these books. Another book I was really happy with, and I think the grade was spot on. Bought this off a buddy of mine, and he actually graded it. I mean, he puts his grades on there, obviously, when he sells them. And so I think he was pretty spot on. Avengers issue 48. It's at the first Black Knight, right? Everyone knows that. What, I even got to say it. Yeah. Either way, 5.5. My buddy, I think he had that labeled, had it nailed down as a 5.5. So pretty stoked. This one again, Mighty Avengers 62. This one I was thinking, and it's first appearance of Man-Ape, M'Baku, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's right there on the label. 5.5. I think I was feeling about a 6 on that one, so that's not bad at all. And then one of the last Avengers to tie it off, issue 73. Nice high grade on that one. All right. See if I can get through these slabs. Alright. So from Avengers to Thor. I've got a Journey into Mystery issue 119 at a nice 7.0 off-white to white pages. Cholula, man, that guy just, he made all these books way better. And not that all of them were really that bad of a condition to begin with, but some of them definitely, a lot of these books needed some tender love and care. Some nice pressing. A lot of them weren't necessarily dirty, just a press and clean. But yeah, I'm sure you still find some stuff you just can't see with the naked eye anyways. The back of these books need a nice clean from time to time with the white. It's still got some tanning. So, the Mighty Thor issue 143, nice high grade, 8.5 off white pages. Issue 162, Galactus. A lot of these books I purchased off a buddy of mine that bought a collection, called me up and says, "Hey, I got a nice run of Thors. If you're interested, I'll hold them aside for you. You can come take a look, and I'll sell a big chunk to you if you want to buy whatever books you want to get." So I took advantage of that. He's a best buddy of mine. Hooked me up. So that's where a lot of these Thors come from. This was a surprise, but I'm not mad. Not mad at all. The Mighty Thor 166. It's a tough book for me to get so far. I'm in no rush, but yeah, I knew it had its problems. But press and clean 5.5, my very first ever purple label. It says it's a slight C1. There's a restoration that includes small color touch on the cover. Based on what I paid for it and the grade it came back, it's actually, the value is still there at a purple label, believe it or not. Yeah, I'll probably send it back and see if they can remove it, and maybe it drops to a 5. Hopefully it don't go to a 4 or 5, but it is what it is. Thor issue 169, 5.5 off white pages, off white. And this one, again, all the grades pretty much were spot on except for the purple label. The Mighty Thor 225, first appearance of Fire Lord 7.0. So great books. I was fortunate to get these from a buddy of mine that picked up a comic book collection that just wanted to sell them off, and he knew he just likes to contact me from time to time, and I'm really honored with that. This was a book I purchased years ago from mycomicshop.com, and I believe that grade got a nice little grade bump on that one. Amazing Spider-Man 33. Let me bring it in. 8.0 off-white pages. Yeah, I believe it was roughly about, I was thinking about a 7.0. So press and clean, everything helps. Amazing Spider-Man 101. Yeah. That one, I think I was hoping for about a 7.0, so it's a 6. It's still really good. It's actually the, they call it the National Diamond sales insert. I guess it's different. That's what they labeled it as, National Diamond sales insert. But Mark Jewelers, I've heard that terminology been thrown around a lot. So usually I believe they call it just a Mark Jewelers insert. And those books were known to be sold out at military bases. So bought the book not knowing, I didn't open it, purchased it at a convention, just looked at it through the bag and board, didn't take it out. Years later I get home, I open it up, start looking at it, and I realize it's got a Mark Jewelers insert. So that was a nice surprise. ASM 120, 7.0 off white to white pages. Great grade. I think I was hoping for, I was thinking about a 6.5, so for it to be a 7. Very good. Trilogy did a fantastic job. ASM 134. That's a nice high grade. 9.0 off white to white pages. That's a pretty big jump. That I believe was a 6.5 to a 7. I was thinking 6.5 to 7.0. So nice press and clean on that one. Really got it going. So that's pretty much it for this round. I'll be back. I should be back with a few more vids because it was a big haul. One of my hands down the biggest ever, all at once for CGC. So I'll be back with a few more vids, and I'll try to space them out more or less. Maybe one a week if I do that to clean this up. Anyways, thanks to all the folks if you're still there. Thanks to anybody that's actually want to tune in and listen to this. If again, I apologize with the volume. I've got to get a better system. Maybe this year I'll get a better system, better out thing to film videos and pick up my voice. It's quite the struggle, I guess, when you don't have the proper equipment. Anyways, thanks again, everyone out there. Take care and keep on collecting.